Now, I will introduce our group member, which is the first one, Muhammad ALIF HAIQAL bin Muhammad RAMLI. Metric number 2018-201-838. Next, our group member is Muhammad RIDHUAN bin ABDULLAH. Metric number 2018-673-632. The third member of our group is Muhammad Hashim. The metric number 2018-226-556. And last member of our group, which is Muhammad FARIS WAJDI bin Muhammad SHAHARUDDIN. The metric number 2018-410-222. Now I will pass to Muhammad ALIF HAIQAL to introduce our current issue in the internal audit regarding the data security. Okay, now I will be explaining introductions of current issue in internal auditing data security. In this modern era, digital information has become one of core things for all peoples around the world. So what we can understand with data digital? Data digital can be defined as data created by or prepared for electronic devices, system such as computer, screen, calculator, communication device, and if those things, example of those things can be generally referred to digital informations, since they can be stored on those devices or in the cloud. Even though the existence of digital information shows the advancements of technology towards mankind, but digital information still has exposure toward the risk. So how to encounter those risks? So we use data security. Data security can be defined as the process of protecting digital information throughout its life cycle from corruption, theft, or unauthorized access in the internal auditor department that may be consist of the specialists on the IT, or in other words, information technology, that play their roles to mitigate the risk of confidential data being breached. Okay, that's for all for our introductions. Now we move on the second parts of our presentation, which is content of the reports. So there are 4 contents that will be discussed by our group member, which is the first one, type of data security, that will explained by Muhammad ALIF HAIQAL. Secondly, data security risk, that will be explained by Muhammad RIDHUAN. Disadvantage and advantage of data security will be explained by Hafizi. And lastly, current issue in internal auditing that related to the data security will be explained by Muhammad FARIS WAJDI. Now I will pass to Muhammad ALIF HAIQAL for explaining the first content of the report. Okay, now we move on the first parts of our content, which is the type of data security. Type of data security consists 4 types, which is the first one, the encryption. Encryptions mean by encryption has its function that ensure that only the recipients with the registration key can read the message, while data erasure means by a methods where the organization permanently remove the data that is no longer required by the organization from their system. The third type of data security, which is data masking. Data masking is a method that obscuring and replacing specific letter or number to hide the date. While we move on to the last type of data security, which is data resiliency. Data resiliency has its function that the organizations that adapting this data security can reduce the risk of accidental destructions or loss of data by creating backups or copies of their data. Okay, that's for all for type of data security. Now I will pass to Muhammad RIDHUAN to explain about the type of data security risk.
Thank you, Muhammad ALIF. So now I will explain about type of data security risk. So there are few type of data security risks, such as accidental data exposure, phishing attack, insider threat, and many more. So we go to accidental data exposure first. So the employee may unaware of their company security regulation. Employees are easily able to mishandle or lose information, lose data, share it with the incorrect person, or allow access to it. So now we go to phishing attack. Phishing attack is an attack done by a cyber criminal where they send message via email, short message services, or instant message services that appear to be from a trusted sender. So next we go to insider threat. There are 3 types of insider threat, which is compromised insider, malicious insider, and non-malicious insider. Next we go to the malware. Attacker infect computer and business network with malware by taking advantage of flaw in their software, such as web browser or web application. So next we go to ransomware. Ransomware is a form of malware that aim to infect device and encrypt the data on them in order to get ransom from the victim. And finally, cloud data storage. To support rapid collaboration and sharing, organization rapidly transferring data to the cloud and adopting a cloud-first strategy. So the cloud data is does not have control over the security. So the information might lost anytime. So next, I will pass to Muhammad Hafizi to continue the presentation.
Thank you, Ridwan. Now I will proceed to the next point, which is advantages and disadvantages data security. First advantages that can be identified is can safeguard all valuable information. As we can see, any data or information that has been received and given by a person to an authorized third party such as a bank, government body and insurance company is usually personal data and very important to that person. If this data and information leak, it will create problem in the future, especially to that particular person. When this authorized third party applying data security for their all data received from internal and external sources, it will make the data keep protected and as they are applying data security. The second advantages are save on development and support costs. As we know, there are two ways how data or information can be saved, whether using software or manual. Some of the party use either one or both this method. When the party use software as their method of storage, they can save their costs more as they use manual such as paper or form. This method may be difficult but it more efficient and eco-friendly compared to manual method. So I will proceed to the advantages. The first advantages in applying data security are cost define and litigation. As we know, there was possibility in leaking data that received from the user. When this happen, there will a lot bad outcome can happen. One of them is the organization or the party may can fine and tackle legal action from the relevant party. This thing can make the organization or the party suffer the loss from the action. For the second disadvantages in applying data is can lead to reputation damage. This situation can happen when data or the information leaked and spread to any party. When this thing happen, the relevant party that affected from the incident must act whether from legal way or posting into social media. This thing is not good for their progress in the certain industry that have been joint venture. So I will pass to Muhammad WAJDI for the next point.
Thank you, Muhammad Hafizi. And now we will move on to the current issue. So, during May 2022, Malaysia have been shocked with the news of leaking alleged data containing the information of 22.5 million Malaysian that born between 1940 and 2004. It also been reported that information is being stolen from the National Registration Department, which we can know as a department under the Ministry of Home Affairs. This department oversees recording important events in the life of individuals such as births, death, adoption, marriage and divorce. Furthermore, the NRD oversees determining citizenship status and issuing identification document in the form of identity card to eligible individual. This issue once again has put Malaysia data security measures in the spotlight. The issue started during September 2021 when NRD database of people born between 1979 and 1998 are being sold to the dark web for 0.2 Bitcoin, which is 35,350 ringgit Malaysia. The issue has triggered all attention of Malaysia citizens and most of the citizens questioning the strength of data security. Authority has opened the case toward this issue, but few months later, the situation has become worse when 22.5 million Malaysian information once again has been sold to a dark web. Local tech portal Amans reported that the database of Malaysia citizens between 1940 and 2004 sizing of 160 GB has been sold to the dark web. In the worst scenario, the database comprises of the individual face, home address, birth date, gender, identification number, religion, and phone number. This breach of data also has suspected that being done by the same parties that has created this chaos during September 2021. The action that being done by those irresponsible parties seems challenging the government, and at the same time wanted to show that the government could not managing and securing the citizen personal data in highest level. Okay, next, what the government action for this issue? So, Ministry of Home Affairs also has addressed the responses toward this issue. Since Ministry of Home Affairs is the ministry that responsible on handling National Registration Department, the Minister of Home Affairs itself, Datuk Seri Hamzah bin Zainuddin, has addressed to the media regarding this issue. The minister stated that those incidents occurred due to the data was siphoned from the NRD through the My Identity API, which is one of the government application programming interfaces, and it also an app that been used for various government agencies. In his interview, the minister also stated that the alleged data leak did not come from the NRD, but those alleged data leak is coming from several agencies, which Ministry of Home Affairs have given some leeway for those agencies to obtain the information from Ministry of Home Affairs platform. The minister stated that those incidents occurred due to the data was siphoned from the NRD through My Identity API, which is one of the government application programming interfaces, and it also an app that been used for various government agencies. Next, I will pass to Muhammad Ridwan.
Thank you, WAJDI, and I will proceed on for how the solution that the government take for this problem. As we know, the citizen of Malaysia want to know the progress on how the government of Malaysia solve this problem. The government has decided to enhance the internet auditing for the government agency. So the first step is the internet auditor should enhance more skills and knowledge toward data security works. From this, all the process and work will become efficient and good. For the second is to maximize the safeguarding of the data security, since they have deeper knowledge and skill regarding to the information technology. These two things is very important and significant to internet auditor and can solve this problem. So I will pass to Muhammad Ridwan for the next point.
Thank you, Muhammad Hafizi. So now I will conclude this presentation. Data encryption, scramble and hide the true meaning of the data by using the algorithm. If an attacker managed to get the data, they still could not read because they does not have the description key. Data erasure is a method where the organization permanently remove the data that is no longer required by the organization from their system. This method is effective because it removes liability and chance of a data breach occurring. Data masking is a method of obscuring and replacing specific letter or number to hide the data. Ministry of Home Affairs also has addressed that the response toward this issue, since Minister of Home Affairs is ministry that responsible on handling National Registration Department. This issue has open eyes to the government that in safeguarding those data security. The risk can be evolved day by day in line with the technology growth. Creating the minor department in the internal audit department that consists of specialists on information technology also can mitigate the risk of confidential data being breached. So that's all from us. Thank you very much.